They say desire is powerful. But desire alone has never built a bridge, never launched a company, never changed a generation. Because wanting something doesn't move the world, believing it's possible does. Every person walking this earth wants something. A better life, more freedom, a sense of purpose, wealth, love, recognition. But if want was the currency of success, everyone would be rich. Everyone would be fulfilled. The truth is far sharper. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. Because belief is not wishful thinking. Belief is a declaration, a silent contract between you and your destiny. It's what turns someday into now. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the spectators from the players, the people who almost made it, from the ones who actually did. Look through history, every great name you know, every visionary who changed the landscape of humanity was a believer long before the world agreed with them. Thomas Edison didn't want light. He believed humanity could live beyond the boundaries of darkness. Henry Ford didn't want to build cars. He believed the average man could afford one. Walt Disney didn't want a kingdom of imagination. He believed in a world where adults could dream again. That's the difference. The world doesn't bend for want, it bows to belief. And if your belief system is weak, the world will mirror that weakness back to you. Because life doesn't give you opportunities according to your desire, it gives you outcomes according to your faith. You can study every book, attend every seminar, repeat every affirmation, but until you believe not in theory, but in your bones, nothing will shift. Belief is not something you say. It's something you carry. It's the quiet fire in your chest when everything around you says impossible. It's the courage to take a step when there's no guarantee the ground will be there when your foot lands. It's that invisible energy that rewires your brain from I wish to I will. The people who change their lives don't start with money, or luck, or connections. They start with a vision that refuses to die. And that's the most dangerous thing about belief. Once you truly believe, the world cannot stop you. People may doubt you. Circumstances may test you. But the moment your belief outweighs your fear, you become unstoppable. Most people don't fail because they don't have enough talent. They fail because their belief runs out right before the miracle happens. They quit at the 99th step, never realizing the 100th was the breakthrough. They settle for average because believing beyond what they can see feels too heavy to carry. But faith, real faith, isn't about what you can see. It's about what you can't see yet. Every great story of success started with one phrase, I don't know how, but I know I will. When you believe that deeply, life bends around that energy. Opportunities appear. The right people show up. Doors that seemed sealed begin to move. And it's not magic, it's alignment. Because belief changes your vibration, and your vibration changes your behavior. And behavior, that's what changes your destiny. Your mind is the control center of your life. What you feed it becomes your future. If you keep feeding it doubt, you'll build a life that matches your doubt. If you feed it faith, courage, and certainty, the world will rise to meet you. Belief is the soil from which every dream grows. But most people keep planting their dreams in doubt and wonder why nothing ever blooms. Listen, success doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your imagination. And that imagination only becomes real when belief breathes life into it. When you believe something long enough, your body follows. Your tone changes. Your energy shifts. You start walking differently. People notice. They can't explain it, but they can feel it because belief has a frequency. It's what Zig Ziglar called the contagious spirit of conviction. You can't fake it. You can't rent it. You have to earn it by living it every single day. Belief isn't built in comfort. It's forged in challenge, in rejection, in failure, in late nights when nobody believes in you yet. That's where real conviction is born. The world doesn't believe in you first. You believe in yourself, then the world follows. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices: to see life as it is, or to see it as it could be. To react to your circumstances, or to recreate them. That decision right there determines everything. Because you don't rise to the level of your desires. You fall to the level of your beliefs. And if you truly believe that you're meant for more, if you truly believe that you can rise above your history, your circumstances, your limits, then you will. Not because the world will make it easy, but because your belief will make it inevitable. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And that's where most people lose the battle before they even start the fight. They want success, but deep down, They don't believe they deserve it. They want abundance, but their mind whispers poverty every time they look in the mirror. They want greatness, but their habits, their self-talk, their doubts, they all say otherwise. See, your belief is the architect of your destiny. It builds the walls of your potential and sets the limits of your imagination. You can wish, you can hope, you can plan, but none of it works if belief isn't behind it. Because belief isn't just a thought, it's a frequency. It's the silent signal you broadcast to the universe every single day. If your belief says I'm not ready, life will agree. If your belief says I'm not enough, life will confirm it. But if your belief says I was born for this, the world begins to move out of your way. Zig Ziglar once said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I'll add this, you won't even start unless you believe it's possible. Every success story you've ever heard, from Edison to Oprah, from Lincoln to Steve Jobs, began with a single conviction: I can. That's it. No guarantee, no roadmap, just raw belief and the courage to act on it. Because belief is not passive. Belief demands evidence, and that evidence is action. When you take a step, the universe takes two. When you move with conviction, the world rearranges itself in your favor. But here's the truth nobody likes to hear. Most people don't act because they've already accepted failure in their minds. They've already rehearsed defeat before they've even begun. They've let their environment shape their expectations, and their expectations shape their results. That's why the rich get richer, not because they have more, but because they believe differently. They expect growth, opportunity, expansion, and that belief becomes their self-fulfilling prophecy. Meanwhile, others stay stuck in the same circle. Not because they can't, but because they don't believe they can. They want to win, but they live like victims. They want to lead, but they think like followers. They want freedom, but they worship fear. Belief is the line between trying and becoming. It's the moment when a vision stops being fantasy and turns into a plan. When Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination, he didn't quit because his belief wasn't for sale. He said, if you can dream it, you can do it. And he proved it, not because he was special, but because he was certain. You have to reach that point too, where belief burns so deep that doubt suffocates in its smoke. Stop waiting for signs. Stop begging for clarity. The belief is the sign. If you have a dream, it's not random, it's evidence of what's possible. It's life showing you what already exists inside you. The question is, will you believe long enough to see it through? Because the world doesn't reward wishes, it rewards faith in action. The kind of faith that builds empires from dirt. The kind of faith that gets up every morning, looks at the impossible, and says, watch me. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. So build your belief like a fortress. Guard it, feed it, protect it, because once belief takes root, no one, not fear, not failure, not rejection, can pull it out. And when belief becomes who you are, success stops being something you chase, and becomes something you attract. Belief, it isn't magic. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows with resistance. You don't wake up one day believing in yourself. You build that belief, brick by brick, by keeping the promises you make to yourself. Every time you say, I'll do it, and then actually do it, your belief strengthens. Every time you act despite fear, your belief expands. Every time you fall and get back up, your belief becomes unbreakable. That's how discipline and belief dance together. Discipline is the proof of belief. Because if you truly believe something is yours, you don't need motivation, you need a plan. You see, most people wish for success. Few people prepare for it, and almost no one lives like they deserve it before they have it. But the ones who win, they already act as if the dream is done. They see it, they feel it, they walk like it's already theirs. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. Visualization. That's the art of believing before the evidence arrives. It's how Edison saw the light before the bulb existed. How Henry Ford saw cars in every driveway when everyone else was still riding horses. How Muhammad Ali saw victory before he ever stepped into the ring. They weren't delusional, they were disciplined dreamers. They saw what others couldn't because they believed what others wouldn't. And that's what belief truly is. Seeing the invisible until it becomes inevitable. You must live from your vision, not your history. Because your past can't see your future. Your current reality doesn't define your destiny, your belief does. That's why gratitude is power. When you thank life for what hasn't arrived yet, you're declaring faith over fear. You're saying, I believe it's mine, even if I can't touch it yet. Gratitude is the soil in which belief grows. It keeps you grounded when storms come, and it reminds you that abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you recognize. Zig Ziglar said, when you are grateful for what you have, you will attract more to be grateful for. That's not a slogan, it's a spiritual law, because gratitude rewires your brain from scarcity to sufficiency. It teaches your mind that you are not lacking, you are becoming. And that belief turns average days into opportunities. It turns obstacles into teachers. It turns pain into preparation. The truth is, the moment you start believing in yourself, life starts believing in you. Doors appear that were invisible before. People show up who once ignored you. Ideas flow where once there was only confusion. Because belief shifts your frequency. And you begin to attract on the level of your vision, not your fear. But make no mistake, belief without action is fantasy. You can meditate, visualize, and journal all you want, but if you don't move, you'll stay stuck in the same chapter of your story. Action is belief made visible. Every bold move you make tells the world, I am serious about this. And when you move with conviction, even if you fail, you build the credibility that leads to greatness. Remember this: discipline builds evidence, evidence builds confidence, and confidence builds belief. That's the ladder to self-mastery. Not luck, not talent. Belief backed by daily discipline. When you wake up early to chase your dream, you're not just working, you're casting votes for your future self. Every repetition, every sacrifice, every quiet hour of grind, it's all shaping your belief that you can. And when that belief solidifies, you no longer need approval. You don't beg for permission. You move because it's who you are. You stop asking, what if I fail? And start saying, what if I fly? Because the only limits that exist are the ones you accept. And once you stop accepting them, you start expanding what's possible. That's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Not resources, not connections, just belief. Rejection, failure, silence. These are the moments that test whether you truly believe or you were just interested. Because anyone can believe when things are working. But belief is proven when everything breaks. When no one returns your calls. When your work goes unnoticed. When the world seems to move on without you. That's when the weak collapse, and the strong are born. You see, resilience isn't just endurance, it's faith in motion. It's standing tall in the storm saying, I will not quit, because this pain has purpose. Every master, every leader, every legend was forged in fire. Lincoln faced defeat in nearly every election before he became president. Edison failed 10,000 times before he lit the world. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. But here's the secret: they didn't just survive the rejection. They used it. They turned failure into feedback. They turned doubt into drive. They turned humiliation into hunger. They didn't get what they wanted. They got what they believed they were destined for. Because belief isn't proven in comfort, it's proven in chaos. When everything is falling apart and you still whisper, I'm not done yet. That's belief. It's that quiet, unshakable conviction that something inside you is bigger than what's against you. It's the refusal to let the outside world define your internal worth. Most people let failure bury them. Champions let it build them. They take rejection and turn it into direction. They don't see closed doors, they see corridors waiting to be discovered. Belief transforms pain into preparation. It rewrites the meaning of suffering. Instead of asking, why me, you start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That question, that shift is how ordinary people rise from ashes. Because the greatest gift failure gives you is clarity. It strips away illusion, comfort, ego, and leaves you face to face with who you really are. And if you can stand there, wounded but willing, bleeding but believing, you'll realize something divine. No pain is wasted when it's used for purpose. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Prepared for the level you prayed for. Prepared for the strength you'll need when success finally arrives. Zig Ziglar used to say, sometimes adversity is what you need to face in order to become successful. He was right. Adversity introduces you to your deeper self, the one who refuses to give up. Every setback hides a seed of equal or greater opportunity. Every failure is the tuition you pay for wisdom. And every scar is proof that you showed up to fight for your future. So the next time life knocks you down, don't just get back up, rise differently. Rise wiser. Rise stronger. Rise with fire in your eyes. Because belief that survives pain becomes unstoppable. The kind of belief that says, you can take my money, my comfort, my certainty, but you will never take my conviction. That's when life starts bending in your favor. That's when opportunities appear out of nowhere. That's when you start walking like a person who knows they're chosen. You stop chasing success and start attracting it. Because you've finally become the kind of person who can handle it. See, success doesn't change you, it reveals you. It shows the world the version you built in silence. The version that believed when no one clapped. The version that stayed faithful when nothing worked. The version that kept moving when fear screamed stop. You can't cheat that process. You can't skip the nights of doubt and the mornings of exhaustion. Because those moments are sacred. They're the moments when belief becomes your identity. When you stop saying, I want to be successful, and start saying, I am becoming success. That's when everything begins to shift. The people you attract change. The way you walk changes. The energy you radiate changes. Because belief changes your frequency. And the world can't ignore someone vibrating at the level of purpose. Purpose. It's a word thrown around so casually today that most people forget what it truly means. Purpose isn't a motivational slogan, it's a direction. It's the invisible compass that tells you where to go when every map has burned to ash. It's that whisper in your chest saying, there's more for you, don't stop here. And here's the truth, you can't find your purpose by sitting still. You find it when you move, when you act, when you fail, when you learn, when you rebuild. You find it in the trenches, not the textbooks. You find it in the doing, not the dreaming. Zig Ziglar said it best, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. That's purpose, taking the first step even when you can't see the staircase. See, the problem isn't that people lack talent or opportunity. It's that they're paralyzed by waiting for clarity. They want a full vision before they take the first step, but purpose doesn't reveal itself to those who wait, it reveals itself to those who walk. The greats all started blind. Edison didn't know which experiment would work. Carnegie didn't know his steel empire would shape the future. Ford didn't know his name would redefine transportation. They didn't have guarantees, they had conviction. They believed in something bigger than comfort. They believed their vision could serve humanity, not just themselves. That's what purpose really is, it's service. It's using your gift to make others' lives better. And here's the paradox, the more you give, the more you grow. The more you serve, the more success finds you. Because when your purpose becomes bigger than your paycheck, the universe opens doors money can't buy. People ask, how do I find my calling? You don't find it, you build it, one act of courage at a time. One moment of discipline when you didn't feel like it. One decision to rise when quitting felt easier. Purpose grows where consistency lives. And when you start walking in it, something shifts, you begin to live with direction instead of distraction. You stop competing with others and start comparing yourself only to yesterday's version of you. You stop chasing validation and start chasing value. You stop asking, what do I get, and start asking, what can I give? Because success is never about accumulation, it's about contribution. And when your purpose aligns with service, you stop surviving and start creating. That's when vision comes alive. Not a vague dream or fantasy, a vivid mental picture of what your life could be if you gave your absolute best. Vision is your mind's way of saying, here's the future that's waiting for your courage. Close your eyes and imagine it. The person you could become. The business you could build. The impact you could make. The legacy you could leave behind. It's all waiting. But not for your wish, for your work. Vision without belief is hallucination. Vision with belief is creation. When those two align, unstoppable becomes your default state. You wake up differently. You move differently. You stop hitting snooze on your potential because you realize something sacred. Time isn't your enemy, wasted time is. Purpose-driven people understand this. They live with urgency, not anxiety. They understand that every day is a seed, plant it or lose it. They don't drift, they decide. They don't react, they respond. Because their belief has matured into purpose and their purpose has evolved into a mission. That's the moment life starts to feel like it's working with you instead of against you. Opportunities start showing up because you've finally tuned into the right frequency. People begin to notice something different about you, that quiet confidence that comes from clarity. You're no longer chasing approval because you've already approved of your own path. And that's when discipline becomes joy. You no longer need motivation, you have momentum. You don't wait for the mood. You move because it's who you are now. See, purpose gives pain a name. It turns suffering into sacrifice and struggle into strength. When you know why you're fighting, you can endure anyhow. That's what Nietzsche meant when he said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." So, what's your why? Why do you wake up? Why do you keep going when no one's watching? Why do you want to win until your why makes you cry? Your how will never make you try. When purpose burns in your chest, you stop needing permission. You stop asking for validation. You start moving like destiny is watching, because it is. You were not born to drift through life. You were born to drive it. And the will is belief powered by purpose. Discipline. The word alone separates the dreamers from the doers. Because belief gives you vision, but discipline builds the bridge. Without it, every goal is just a fantasy floating in the clouds. You can believe with all your heart. You can visualize success every morning. You can write your goals on mirrors and vision boards. But if you don't back that belief with consistent action, nothing changes. Discipline is the currency of transformation. It's the proof that you mean what you say. It's not glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy. It's early mornings, quiet nights, and showing up when you don't feel like it. You want to know why so many people fail? Because they only move when it feels good. They're loyal to their emotions, not their purpose. But champions, they're loyal to their commitments. They don't wait for motivation. They manufacture it through movement. Zig Ziglar said, "People often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily." He understood something profound. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Every legend you admire, every icon who changed history, lived a life built on boring consistency. Muhammad Ali didn't love every workout. He said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's discipline. Doing what must be done, even when your feelings beg you not to. That's how you earn mastery, one unglamorous repetition at a time. See, there's no secret formula. No hack, no shortcut, no overnight success story that lasts. What lasts is repetition with intention. The willingness to fall in love with the process. Discipline is love for your future self. When you choose discipline, you're saying, "I refuse to betray the person I'm becoming for the comfort of who I am now." You wake up tired, but you show up anyway. You face setbacks, but you keep building anyway. You fail, but you rise again, sharper, stronger, wiser. Because every act of discipline is a vote for your destiny. And when those votes add up, you don't even recognize the person you used to be. Most people give up because they underestimate the power of small daily effort. They want massive results fast. But transformation doesn't happen in leaps, it happens in layers. One disciplined day stacked on another until excellence becomes your default. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb overnight. He failed thousands of times, but each failure was a spark of discovery. That's what discipline looks like, failing forward without losing faith. Discipline is saying, "I will keep walking, even when I can't see the finish line." Because true belief doesn't need evidence, it creates it. The disciplined understand that results are delayed applause. The world may not clap today, but it will one day echo your name. When you practice your craft in silence, you're not being overlooked, you're being prepared. When doors don't open, maybe it's because your foundation isn't ready yet. The universe will not promote you to a level your habits can't sustain. That's why discipline matters more than talent. Talent creates potential, discipline fulfills it. Talent is a gift, discipline is a choice. And choices, not chances, shape your destiny. Every morning you get two options: continue sleeping with your dreams, or wake up and chase them. One leads to regret, the other, to greatness. And don't confuse discipline with burnout. Discipline isn't punishment, it's power. It's self-respect in motion. It's honoring your goals enough to do what's necessary, not what's convenient. Most people run when it gets uncomfortable. The great ones run toward discomfort because they know growth only lives there. Comfort zones are the invisible prisons where potential goes to die. So if it scares you, challenges you, stretches you, move closer. That's where your next breakthrough lives. Discipline transforms pain into progress. It trains your mind to act from intention, not impulse. It teaches you that effort compounds, that faith is built brick by brick. And when you master discipline, you master freedom. Because freedom isn't the absence of rules, it's the ability to rule yourself. Think about it, every successful entrepreneur, athlete, artist, or thinker who ever lived had one thing in common: they learned how to do what others avoid. They did the hard things first. They refused to negotiate with excuses. When others slept, they studied. When others doubted, they executed. When others waited, they moved. And over time, that quiet grind became an empire. Because discipline is the language of greatness. And fluency comes only through practice. The truth: you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. If your habits are weak, your dreams collapse under their own weight. But if your habits are strong, your dreams become inevitable. So build habits that serve your future, not your comfort. Habits of reading, training, saving, gratitude, focus, and integrity. Because small daily disciplines compound into extraordinary lives. Resilience, that unbreakable muscle of the soul. It's not built in comfort. It's born in the storm. Discipline gets you started. Resilience keeps you standing when life tries to knock you out. Because here's the truth: life will test you. It will break your plans. It will throw detours into your dreams. It will ask you, how bad do you really want this? And most people crumble under that question. They think success means avoiding pain. But resilience knows the opposite: success requires pain. The greatest souls you admire were not the lucky ones, they were the elastic ones. They bent, but they didn't break. They adapted. They evolved. They learned to dance in the rain. You see, storms don't destroy the oak because it's strong. The oak survives because it's flexible. And the same is true for you. Resilience isn't about being tough all the time, it's about bending without breaking. When life hits you, it's not the hit that defines you, it's your response. Some people get hit once and quit. Others get hit 1,000 times, and still whisper, I'm not finished yet. That whisper, that fire that refuses to die, that's what separates winners from the world. Zig Ziglar once said, when you get knocked down, it's not important how many times you fall, but how many times you get up. And that is the anthem of every fighter, every believer, every dreamer who made it. You will face rejection, betrayal, heartbreak, and failure. You will lose people you love. You will lose versions of yourself you thought you'd be forever. And yet every loss carries a lesson. Every ending hides a rebirth. Because resilience isn't the absence of pain, it's the mastery of meaning. It's when you start to see your wounds not as curses, but as classrooms. When life breaks you, it's teaching you what you still need to learn: patience, humility, focus, gratitude. Those who refuse to learn, repeat. Those who listen, rise. The truth is, life doesn't hand you strength. It gives you situations that demand strength. It doesn't give you confidence, it gives you failure to test if you'll find it within. It doesn't give you clarity, it gives you chaos so you can learn to see through it. Every mountain you face is molding your muscles for the next one. Every storm you survive sharpens your vision. Every no builds your emotional armor. And if you can stay centered in the chaos, if you can breathe while the world shakes, you've already won. Because the strongest people aren't those who never fall, they're the ones who never stay down. Resilience also means knowing when to let go. You can't climb while holding on to what's behind you. Sometimes you must lose to make room for what's meant to be. Sometimes the door must close for you to see the window that was always open. Adaptability, that's the twin sister of resilience. The ability to adjust without losing your purpose. To pivot when the plan fails, but never abandon the mission. Look at nature, it never fights the seasons, it flows with them. Winter doesn't resist spring. The tide doesn't argue with the moon. So why do we resist change? Because we fear losing control. But the irony is, change is the only constant that gives us control, if we flow with it. The ones who adapt thrive. The ones who resist, vanish. History proves it. Kodak had the technology for digital cameras, they resisted. They died. Netflix adapted and ruled. In every industry, every generation, it's not the smartest or strongest that survive, it's the most adaptable. Your dreams are no different. You must evolve with them. Maybe the path you imagined isn't the one that works, so what, find another way. Winners don't get attached to methods. They stay married to the mission. When one plan collapses, they build another. When one door shuts, they make their own. When the storm destroys their map, they trust their compass. Adaptability is faith in motion. The belief that even if I lose everything, I still have me. And as long as I have me, my faith, my skills, my fire, I can rebuild. That's real security. Not the absence of risk, but the presence of confidence that you'll rise no matter what happens. Resilience turns pain into power. Adaptability turns uncertainty into opportunity. And together, they make you unstoppable. Because the world will never stop changing. Technology, people, systems, markets, everything evolves. So either you evolve with intention, or you get pushed by circumstance. The choice is always yours: react to life, or respond to it. Reaction is emotional. Response is intentional. Reaction says, why is this happening to me? Response says, what can I do with this? When you live in that mindset, you stop being a victim of change. You become an architect of transformation. And that's when your belief becomes bulletproof. Not fragile, not conditional, but the kind that laughs at fear and says, I've been through worse, and I'm still here. That's when you realize, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe you can survive, build, and rise from. Vision. That sacred fire that turns belief into direction. It's what separates those who wander from those who walk with purpose. Because once you've built resilience and discipline, you must know why you're fighting. Without vision, effort is chaos. Without clarity, even strength becomes scattered. A sword means nothing if it swings without aim. Vision is not about sight, it's about insight. It's not what your eyes see, it's what your soul insists is possible. And that's why most people never find it. Because vision isn't discovered in comfort. It's born in silence, in stillness, in solitude. When was the last time you truly listened to your own thoughts? No phone, no noise, no distractions. Just you and the whisper of who you could become. That whisper that's your calling. And if you ignore it long enough, it turns into restlessness. That's why so many people feel empty even when they're busy. They confuse movement with meaning. They run fast, but toward nothing. You see, speed without direction only gets you lost faster. So stop chasing everything and start aligning with something. Every great achiever in history had a clear, burning vision. Carnegie saw a world built on steel. Ford imagined cars for every household, not just the rich. Wright brothers dreamed of flying when people mocked the very idea. Disney saw castles in swamps and laughter in doubt. They didn't have resources, they had reasons. They didn't wait for perfect timing, they created it. Because when your vision burns bright enough, the world feels it, and the universe starts rearranging itself to meet your direction. But here's what most people get wrong. Vision is not just a dream you see, it's a destiny you build. You can't just write it on a board and hope it comes true. You must embody it every single day. You want to be successful, then start thinking, walking, and talking like success now. You want to be a leader, then start leading yourself when no one's watching. You want abundance, then stop speaking scarcity. Your vision lives in your habits long before it lives in your reality. It's built in the small moments: the morning you didn't snooze, the call you didn't skip, the promise you didn't break. Vision without consistency is just fantasy. But vision with consistent faith, that's manifestation. And understand this, vision is not always glamorous. It will isolate you. It will confuse others. People will doubt you, laugh at you, and call you unrealistic. Good. Let them. Because the vision wasn't given to them, it was given to you. They weren't supposed to understand. They were supposed to watch when you prove it real. The truth is, purpose feels lonely before it feels legendary. You'll walk alone for a while. You'll question yourself. You'll feel invisible. But if you stay faithful to the path, one day, those same people will ask you how you did it. Because vision rewards the patient, not the popular. Don't be afraid to dream bigger than your environment. Don't let small minds convince you that big visions are arrogance. There's nothing arrogant about wanting to fulfill your potential. It's your responsibility. Zig Ziglar said it perfectly: if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. And most people live like that, aiming at nothing, and wondering why they're unfulfilled. But not you. You're here because something in you refuses to settle. You can feel it, that pull, that fire, that voice that whispers, there's more for you. That's not fantasy. That's your higher self reminding you who you are. So stop asking for permission to dream. Stop dimming your vision to fit someone else's comfort zone. If people call you obsessed, good obsession built every empire you admire. Vision is sacred work. It's the blueprint of destiny. It's what gives meaning to your mornings and peace to your nights. When you have vision, you stop needing validation. You no longer chase applause because your mission itself becomes your reward. You start to see setbacks differently, not as failures, but as feedback. Every delay is divine timing. Every detour is redirection. Every difficulty is refining you for what you've been chosen to do. Vision will test you, and that's how it knows you're ready. It will ask, can you still see it when no one else does? Because that's the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers wait to see before they believe. Doers believe before they see. You must walk by faith, not by sight. Because sight shows you what is. Faith shows you what could be. And when vision and faith unite, reality has no choice but to follow. When your belief becomes conviction, and your vision becomes your mission, you start moving differently. You stop reacting to circumstances and start creating them. Because once you have a clear vision, discipline becomes automatic. Resilience becomes natural. And every obstacle becomes a stepping stone toward your purpose. Vision makes the struggle sacred. It gives meaning to the pain and power to the patience. It turns every ordinary day into preparation for something extraordinary. That's why visionaries never quit. Because quitting means betraying what they were born to build. So ask yourself tonight, what do I see when I close my eyes? What future is calling my name? What dream scares me enough to mean something? Because the moment you answer those questions honestly, you'll stop wandering through life, and start walking in purpose. Gratitude, the quiet power that turns what you have into enough and then multiplies it. Because here's the truth, no one can live a fulfilled life while constantly focusing on what's missing. You cannot attract abundance from a place of lack. You cannot rise while resenting what you already have. You see, success doesn't begin when you get more. It begins when you see more in what's already in front of you. That job you complain about, someone else is praying for it. That small apartment you call not enough, someone out there would call it heaven. Gratitude is not weakness, it's strength disguised as peace. It's the bridge between where you are and where you're going. It's what grounds the dreamer so their vision doesn't drift into greed. Because without gratitude, ambition becomes hollow. And without humility, success becomes toxic. Every truly great man, from Lincoln to Edison, from Ford to Ziglar, understood the sacred dance between drive and thanks. They chased greatness, yes, but they never forgot grace. Zig Ziglar used to say, gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. That's not poetic fluff, that's psychological truth. Your mind expands whatever it focuses on. Complain, and you'll find more reasons to complain. Appreciate, and you'll find more reasons to rise. Gratitude doesn't deny pain, it gives it perspective. It whispers, yes, it hurts, but you're still here. It reminds you that you've survived every storm so far. Because life is not about what happens to you, it's about what happens through you. And when you operate from gratitude, you start turning even tragedy into transformation. Think about it. Every hero's story starts with a setback. Every champion begins as someone who lost, fell, or was overlooked. But gratitude gives those moments meaning. It turns pain into power. That's why resilient people radiate calm. They've learned that gratitude is not something you feel after you succeed. It's something you practice before you do. Gratitude sharpens your mind. It makes you alert to opportunity, aware of blessings, and alive in the moment. Because success isn't always about creating more. Sometimes, it's about recognizing what's already within reach. Look around you right now. You have breath, you have potential, you have time. That means you have everything you need to begin again. So, stop saying, I'll be grateful when, and start saying, I'm grateful now, and that's why more is coming. Because gratitude is not passive. It's not sitting back and smiling politely at life. It's an active force that says, I will make the most of this. That's what makes it magnetic. The universe responds to gratitude because it recognizes stewardship. It knows that when you appreciate what you have, you can be trusted with more. But let S go deeper. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about saying, I understand. I understand that every challenge is a teacher. Every delay is protection. Every rejection is redirection. Every closed door is saving you from a smaller destiny. That understanding transforms your entire mindset. It shifts you from frustration to faith. You stop fighting what's happening and start flowing with it. That's when life starts working for you, not against you. Because the energy of gratitude attracts order. And order creates clarity. And clarity builds power. This is where success becomes spiritual. Where you realize abundance is not just money, it's mindset. It's peace. It's progress. It's purpose. And when you live from that energy, wealth becomes a byproduct, not the goal. You see, true abundance isn't what's in your bank. It's what's in your belief. It's the knowing that no matter what's taken from you, you can rebuild it because you are the source. You don't get what you want. You don't even get what you work for. You get what you believe you deserve. And gratitude is what convinces your soul that you deserve more. Because you've already honored what's here. So, start each day not by checking your phone but by checking your focus. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for right now? And if your mind says, nothing, then whisper back, I'm grateful for another chance to find something. Because if you can wake up grateful, you've already won half the battle. The rest of the day is just proof of that energy in motion. That's what abundance really means. A mind that refuses to be poor, a heart that refuses to be bitter, and a soul that refuses to stop believing. And when that level of gratitude meets that level of faith, miracles stop being rare, they become rhythm. That's when people will look at you and say, you're lucky. And you'll smile, knowing it's not luck, it's alignment. Gratitude aligns you with the frequency of possibility. And once you're aligned, life starts unfolding in your favor. Because the truth is, the universe doesn't respond to begging. It responds to belief. It rewards the one who already acts like it's done. That's why you must believe before you receive. You must thank before you own. Because gratitude isn't the result of success. It's the foundation of it. And now here we stand, at the edge of it all. The moment where belief meets destiny. The point where everything you've heard, everything you've lived, and everything you've survived, begins to make sense. Because you didn't come this far to quit. You didn't wake up today to remain the same. There's a reason your heart still beats faster when you think about your dream. That's not fantasy, that's a calling. You were not born just to pay bills, chase approval, and disappear quietly. You were born to build, to create, to contribute, to expand. There's something inside you that refuses to settle, and that's divine. That voice that says, there's more. That's not ego. That's your potential, whispering. So, let us make something very clear. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And belief isn't built by talking about it. It's built by proving it every single day. Every time you show up tired, but still give your best. Every time you get knocked down, but choose to rise. Every time you doubt yourself, but still take the step. That's belief in motion. See, anyone can have goals. Anyone can make vision boards, write affirmations, read books. But very few people live what they claim to believe. Because belief demands evidence, not words. Belief demands action when no one's watching. Belief demands persistence when results are delayed. Belief demands trust not in outcomes, but in yourself. And when you start living like that, when your behavior aligns with your intention, that's when reality bends. That's when opportunities start appearing out of nowhere. That's when people call you lucky, but you know the truth, luck is what the world calls alignment. When preparation meets purpose. When faith meets discipline. When consistency meets clarity. You're not chasing success anymore. You're becoming someone success can't ignore. That's the moment life shifts. Because the world doesn't reward the loudest dreamer. It rewards the most committed believer. Edison wasn't the first to dream of the light bulb. He was the first who refused to stop believing in it. Walt Disney wasn't the only man who imagined magic. He was the one who kept building it even after being told he was crazy. Henry Ford wasn't the first who thought of faster travel. He was just the one who believed it could be done by everyone. You see the pattern, faith isn't mystical, it's mechanical. You believe, you act, you fail, you learn, you repeat. And somewhere in that loop, the world moves out of your way. That's when you realize something profound. Success is not a secret, it's a sequence. A rhythm between thought, feeling, and action. And the louder your belief, the clearer your rhythm becomes. But here's the thing most people miss. Belief doesn't mean arrogance. It doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect. It means knowing that no matter what's not perfect, you have the power to keep moving. Because belief is built in the shadows. Not when everyone's clapping, but when no one even knows you're trying. It's in those quiet nights when you question yourself, and still whisper, I'm not done yet. It's in those lonely mornings when nothing's working, and still you lace up your shoes and go again. That's belief. That's where destiny is forged. And maybe right now, life hasn't caught up to your effort yet. Maybe you're in that in-between stage. Too far from where you started, but not yet where you dreamed to be. That's okay. Every legend stood there once. That gap between effort and evidence, that's where faith is tested. That's where champions are made. Don't you dare give up there. Don't let temporary silence convince you that your voice doesn't matter. Don't let one failure erase years of effort. Because success doesn't knock once. It keeps circling the house waiting for you to stay home long enough to answer. And when it finally arrives, you'll realize it was never about the money, the fame, or the applause. It was about who you became while waiting. The discipline you built. The humility you learned. The resilience you earned. That's what belief does, it transforms you before it rewards you. So, from this day forward, stop chasing validation. Stop waiting for permission. Stop believing that greatness belongs to them. It belongs to you. If you have the courage to believe it, act on it, and endure for it, it's already yours. Close your eyes right now and say it quietly, I believe. Even when I don't see it, even when I don't feel it, even when no one else believes in me, I still do. Because that's the difference between the dreamers who fade, and the doers who rise. One keeps waiting for proof, the other becomes the proof. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that every delay, every heartbreak, every obstacle, wasn't there to stop you, it was there to shape you. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe you're worthy of. So believe boldly, act relentlessly, live gratefully, and watch how the world rearranges itself around your faith. Because the truth is simple. You are not waiting on your dream. Your dream is waiting on your belief.